Panpacific University, the total university.
Have you made up your mind about what program you will be enrolling in college? O naisip mo na ba kung anong kursong iyong kukunin? No worries, because you can build your future here in Panpacific University. Here are the different programs we offer. We have accountancy, business administration, which is composed of two majors, the financial management and marketing management, computer science, criminology, education programs. We have elementary education, secondary education majors in biological sciences, English, Filipino, mathematics, and social studies. We also have bachelor physical education and psychology. Engineering programs, civil engineering, computer engineering, electrical engineering, and electronics engineering. We also have hospitality management, information technology, marine transportation, nursing, pharmacy, and tourism management. Enroll now at Panpacific University.
Panpacific University offers scholarship programs to those deserving students and also to those who are lack of financial but still wish to finish their studies and enroll in a private institution like Panpacific University. We have academic scholarship for incoming college students like you. With honors, will get 50% tuition discount. With high honors, will get 75% tuition discount. And with highest honors, will get 100% tuition discount. We offer free tuition in our education, psychology, and criminology programs. We give 100% tuition discount to Armed Forces of the Philippines and to the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program or 4-piece beneficiaries. We also give financial assistance for students and will receive up to 50% tuition discount. Pwede kayong mag-apply through this link, bit.ly/PanPacificU scholarships. And for more information, pwede kayong mag-message sa ating official Facebook page at PanPacificU or pwede kayong tumawag o mag-text sa 0919-08-69789. Pwede na kayo mag-enroll para sa academic year 2021-2022 at maka-avail ng free enrollment fee. Just type in your browser bit.ly/welcome to PanPacificU. We build better lives.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Nathan, thank you. May we request everyone to please turn on your respective cameras and welcome to our info session for our Certificate in Teaching program at Panpacific University. I'm Virgo Clemente Lopez, the Dean of the Romeo Padilla Education or School of Education and Arts. So may we invite everyone to please rename. Okay, use your full name, please, so that we could properly direct you or to acknowledge you later on in our forum. And I would like to welcome everyone, our CIT interested enrollees later on, our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Engelbert Pasa. Good afternoon, sir, and our faculty of RPC and Mr. John. Magandang hapon sa inyo. All right, so this will be an hour or more info session about CIT, and we hope to cover much. And we hope to actually answer your questions or queries about this program. So before anything else, let's begin with the emotion check. Kumusta po ang ating mga kasamahan? Kumusta po kayo? Please use the chat box and type your feelings right now or emotions. Probably, I believe most of you are working or all of you are working right now. Work from home, hindi po ba? So let's use the chat box and let's have a quick survey of your status po. Kumusta po tayo? Okay. I'm seeing Miss Diana now, Miss Jenny, Miss Eunice. All right, let's just choose a word from these words po. All right, okay lang daw po. Happy, ayan. Okay, neutral. Okay, Mr. Rene, good afternoon. Miss Faye said happy as well. Okay, and then apart from this emotion check, we would like to know where you're coming from. Saan po kaya tayo nanggagaling this time? Kindly chat po your location. Let's say your city or your province. And we would love to know if we are talking right now with people from Visayas, Mindanao. Okay, we have from Las Piñas. We have from Cavite, from Quezon City, from Davao. Good afternoon, Laguna. We have from KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We have from Isabela. And then from Agusan del Sur, Novaliches, and the rest of the country. Cainta, Rizal. Magandang hapon po. So we're happy to virtually meet you for this info session. We have someone from Tarlac. O, di ba? Para ang layo natin. Sige po, because of technology and because of virtual event, we are gathered and we are to begin our event for this afternoon. So let's put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord through an opening prayer to be led to us by Mr. Frederick Villanueva.
Let us all remember that we are in the most holy presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Lord, we thank you for this week. We offer you our works, joy, and challenges. We thank you for blessing us with the gift of life. We humbly ask you to lead our ways to be pioneer. Inflame our hearts with compassion, enrich our lives with service, and enlighten our mind with truth. As we attend this session, we pray that you will keep us with your care. Send us your spirit to open our mind to all that is true, beautiful, and good. Help us to see the gifts and talents you have given to us and use it well. Help us to grow our knowledge and wisdom. Help us to be kind to others and lead others be kind with us. Give us patience and understand what is just and true. Send your angels to guide and guard us and to keep us from all harm. Open our heart to your presence and enfold us in your peace and protection. Hold us in the palm of your hand and bring us home safely at day's end. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right, maraming salamat, Mr. Villanueva. And this time for us to, before that though, these are the targets for this session. Number one is for us to comprehensively present to you our CIT program. Number two, to introduce our faculty, the subjects, the schedule, and the mode of learning, because I know most of you are asking now, so I'm from Mindanao, how will I be interacting, and so on and so forth. And finally, to reinforce requirements and to respond to your specific concerns about enrollment and anything about this program. So without much ado, for us to be welcome for this info session, let's all be welcomed by our Chief Operating Officer and the former Dean of the RPC, Dr. Engelbert C. Pasag. Magandang hapon po, Dr. Engel.
Hi, Virgo.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes po.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. Um, Pleasant afternoon to everyone. So it's a Saturday, and I can see full force coming from the School of Art, Romeo Padillas School of Education and Arts, who is hosting this wonderful CIT info session. And I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of the Panpacific University family. I'd like to welcome of course, the people behind this info session, and of course the our guests. A lot of you would like to reach out to something which is probably your dream, and most of us, including myself, I did not take education as my first subject, so therefore we need education subject in order to take the licensure examination. But most importantly, why do you want to become part of this big hula balloon education and go back to what you really wanted? And this is actually the next step where in Pan Pacific University, we'd like to invite you to join us, right, so that you can reach your dream. But first is you start with yourself. What do you intend to do? What do you really want to become? And if you already are a teacher, what will you do? Is it only for the benefit of your own pocket, which is most of the time the reason why everyone wants to go to dep ed? It's because the salary is tumataginting na 20 plus or almost 30 plus thousand. But if such is the case, then you miss the entire point of education. But I hope that's not the point why you are joining or why you wanted to take education units, but to be of service, to be part of of the chosen few to mold the future leaders of our country and even of that of the Philippines. In Pan Pacific University, we promote our values first and foremost. From our original name, Pangasinan Colleges of Science and Technology, or PCST. And from PCST, we start coining the terms, four terms: pioneer, compassion, service, and truth. These are four dear things to us because we stand for what is truthful. And we always wanted to start something new. And of course, continue it with because of service, and that we would be the embodiment of compassion towards everyone. And I invite you to join us, not simply so that you can reach your goal, but to become an instrument also for the world to change and to change for the better. So um, we are actually very strong. We have partnered with the Carl Bolita group, and you know for a fact that our dean right now is a very active member of the Carmelita group. Having said that, also Dr. Carl Balita is the premier reviewer, or the man who is multi awarded in all aspects of review. Hindi kami nagkamali. That in fact we're very proud of our partnership because we started with the graduate school where he is the program head of the Carmelita Executive Education. So most of you are probably looking up to something later on. So I invite you to consider, or please join us in the MAED program, Masters of Arts in Education. Or if you already have masters, you go for PhD. And we have carved out innovative ways in which and how you can attain your dreams to become leaders. So the RPC, or Romeo Padilla School of Education and Arts, is part of the Pan Pacific University family, and we are putting things in place so that the breakthrough reviews of Carbalita Group and the strategies in which he is he has started, would also become part of the endeavors of the RPC. So um, with high caliber faculty in the RPC, our courses are level 3 for BSE, I should say, and BE Ed is actually level 1, and sorry, level 2. Tama ba rin eh? Level 2. Okay, that's 2 and 3. And we're almost there. Level 4 is the highest. So I wish that you can really learn very well from this very young but very, very talented group of people. So I hope you can join the family of Pan Pacific University, and I wish to thank everyone for joining us. So to the team, the RPC, Dr. Virgo, as the Dean, I would like to congratulate for you for this afternoon session. And thank you also for this effort. It's not really it's not really that hot right now because I can see warm faces and beautiful smiles, and also good dreams on especially in carving out ano ba yung gusto nyo sa buhay. At dapat abutin nyo yung pangarap nyo na hindi lang pandemya ang rason, kundi meron tayong remedyo sa bawat para maabot ang ating mga pangarap. And I hope and I pray to see each one of you in the graduate school. We can see here people coming from all over the world, the Philippines, and I am hoping that you can also put into your spirit the spirit of Panpacific University, the PCST. Okay, so I'll turn back the virtual screen to Dr. Virgo. Maraming salamat and welcome to everyone.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Engelbert Pasag, our Chief Operating Officer, and at the same time, the Dean of the Graduate Studies or Graduate School of Pan-Pacific University. May we give him a virtual clap, please, the icon there. Thank you. So this time, we shall proceed with the overview of our program, which is the Certificate in Teaching. It was mentioned by Dr. Pasag late a while ago about the need for us, non-education graduates, to really come up or to finish these 18 units for us to be able to qualify for the licensure examination for teachers. And so the CIT program has been a program offered by Pan-Pacific University, and your group is lucky to really benefit from this, because right now you just need to pay 9,988. And good news, it was confirmed, Dr. Pasag, by our admissions office and by our finance office that everything is already here. It's inclusive, except for the optional course audit. This is additional course if you wish to proceed with the comprehensive review afterwards. Okay, so it will be an 18-unit program. It could be finished within 3 to 4 months at most, and in one term you could already have these subjects or the 18 units to be able to take the board exam as mentioned. And to begin with, let's get to know our young, able, and really passionate faculty of RPC specifically to teach CIT program. So as soon as we get to know them, let's listen to them on what to expect and what are in store for you for these subjects. Let's begin with Mr. Rene L. Toquero. He would be handling your, what course is this for a while? He will be handling the teacher and the community, school culture and organizational leadership, and facilitating learner-centered teaching. Mr. Toquero, probably you can say more about these subjects and to, of course, welcome our would-be CIT enrollees.
Yes, hello, good afternoon. Welcome students and welcome would-be CIT students. So this course actually focuses, allow me to read na lang, okay? This course focuses on society as a context upon which schools have been established. Educational philosophies that are related to the society as a foundation of schools and schooling shall be emphasized. Further, principles and theories on school culture and organizational leadership and school policies and procedures shall be, where is that? Oh, wait. Further, principles, theories on this and procedures shall be included to prepare prospective teachers to become school leaders and managers. So that's the general overview of the course, the teacher and the community. And also for the facilitating learner-centered, of course. So it is designed to explore and equip pre-service teachers with the fundamental principles, processes, and practices anchored on learner-centeredness and other educational psychology supportive of learning environments as these apply to facilitate various teaching, learning, delivery modes to enhance learning. It also includes the demonstration of knowledge and understanding of differentiated teaching to suit the learner's gender, needs, strength, interest, and experiences. Further, pre-service teachers will be trained to implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners' linguistic, cultural, socioeconomic, and religious backgrounds. So that's for the facilitating learner-centered teaching. That's all, Dr. Virgo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rene. So Mr. Rene would be your teacher or faculty for two subjects that would be 6 units, the facilitating learning and the teacher and the community. So let's give Mr. Rene a virtual clap. Thank you, Mr. Rene. And this time we should proceed with our second faculty. May I introduce to you Mr. Cipriano Mendoza. He would be handling 2 of your subjects as well, the teaching profession and technology for teaching and learning. Magandang hapon, Mr. Cip. I think Mr. Cip is around. May we find him? Okay. I think we should get back to him in a few. This time, let's proceed with our third faculty. He is also young. He would be discussing, or he would be contextualizing the subject, the child and adolescent learner or learners and learning principles, no less than Mr. Frederick Villanueva. Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Derek.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So our subject would be the child and adolescent learner principles. So let me read the content of our subject course. Okay, so in here, this subject, we're going to talk more on theories, principles, and pedagogies on how are we going to handle the children, okay, from elementary, secondary, and even in the tertiary level, okay? So in here, I'm going to provide you some techniques, okay, on how are you going to answer our your future questions in the board exam. Okay, so it's more on training also when it comes to this part. Okay, and also, okay, I'm going to provide you a lot of examples wherein it is a research base, okay, a recent research base when it comes to teaching the young learners from elementary to secondary. All right. So here is the course description. Let me read it for you. So this course focuses on child and adolescent development with emphasis on current research and theories on biological, linguistic, cognitive, social, and emotional dimensions of development. Further, these includes factors that affect the progress of development of the learners and appropriate pedagogical principles applicable for each developmental level of the learners. The course also addresses laws, policies, guidelines, and procedures that provide safe and secure learning environments and the use of positive and non-violent discipline in the management of learner behavior. That's all, Dean.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Villanueva. And joining us right now is another young faculty. Let's go back to Mr. Cipriano Mendoza. Good afternoon, Sir Cip. May we hear from you or any expectations set for our CIT or incoming CIT students?
Hello, everyone. So I am Cipriano Mendoza Jr. I will be handling teaching profession and technology in teaching and learning. So let's have first the teaching profession. So this course deals with the teacher as a person and as a professional within the context of national and global teacher standards and educational philosophies. It will include professional ethics, core values, awareness of professional rights, privileges, and responsibilities, as well as their roles in the society as a transformative agent of change. So that is for the teaching profession. And for the teaching and learning, technology in teaching and learning, this course is designed for prospective teachers to develop and use digital and non-digital teaching learning resources using technology tools appropriate in various subject areas in the elementary and secondary level. Furthermore, the course will provide opportunities for the students to use technology tools to develop project-based collaborative activities and share resources among community of practice. Again, I am Teacher Sif, and welcome to Pan Pacific University.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. And the only female faculty for our CIT program, but definitely able as well. Let's all welcome Ms. Ronilyn Pachon to teach you assessment of student learning. Good afternoon, Ms. Ronilyn.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I am Ms. Ronilyn Pashon. So I'm going to teach the assessment of learning one. Okay. So this course focuses on the development and utilization of assessment tools to empower the teaching and learning process. It emphasizes the use of testing for measuring knowledge, comprehension, and other thinking skills. It allows the students to go through standard steps to test construction for quality assessment. Also, this course will teach you on how to create a good and effective examination or test questions. And also, we're going to talk about the table of specification and on how to compute grades using the different competencies and on how to create the cards of our learners. So again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Panpacific University.
There you have it, our pool of our CIT faculty. May we give them a heart sign or heart icon. There you go. So they compose now our CIT program. So showing to you this time is the summary of everything. This would be the subjects and schedules for the entire first term, second wave, and first and second wave rather, for first term of academic 2021 and 2022. So as you would see, there are only 6 subjects to be finished or to be accomplished for the entire term. Now, is it possible? Definitely. Now, we have what we call first and second wave. So 3 subjects would be taken for the first wave. It means to say for the first 6 weeks, you have to finish the teaching profession. We have the child and adolescent and the facilitating learner-centered teaching. For the second wave, another 3 subjects should be accomplished. And these are the following: assessment of student learning, we have the teacher and the community, and finally, technology for teaching and learning. That will be for the next 6 weeks as well. So if you would be asking, bakit may first wave and second wave? For you to be able to focus on 3 subjects for the first part and then the next 3 subjects for the second part. So 6 weeks lang po ang bawat subject po natin. So that will be from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays. So does it mean that you have to come to school, or to rather enter your Google Classroom every day? Not necessarily. I'll be discussing that in a few. This time, we would like to welcome as well our CIT students who are now enrolled. Actually, we have started our classes on September 9, but after a week, there was a suspension of classes because of the announcement of the city mayor of Urdaneta City. That is why the resumption of classes will already be on October 4. So it means to say that you are just on time, and we have a week before the start of classes. So you could really enroll for the coming week for you to be able to join the existing or ongoing CIT classes and students. Okay. So far, if you have a question, please reserve them for the open forum, but you may take a screenshot of this, the subjects and schedules. Next one. It was mentioned by Dr. Pasag a while ago that we are partnering with Carl Balita Review Center because you might notice that you lack several, let's say, time, of course, as compared to those who finish or education graduates of both elementary and secondary who finished the course for 4 years. You only finish 18 units in 1 term. So it means to say the contextualization, the deepening, for example, of the concepts are limited, though we would be doing our best from the CIT group for us to contextualize and give you the relevant learning or lessons. But we are offering this as an additional subjects. It means to say, apart from the 18 units, if you wish to take this course, there will be additional 3 units in your what's this transcript if you finish these terms. It means to say it would reflect that you've finished 21 units of professional education. But this is again optional, but we hope that later on you would see the relevance of this. Because anyway, this is self-directed, it is e-learning, it's online review. So for example, if you have spare time on a Monday, let's say an hour before your 5 to 9 p.m. class, then you could actually go online and check learning videos related to, let's say, we have other courses, all right, that will be covered in the 18 units. Or for example, English, you are a language, your specialization has something to do with language. So we have also videos, and then we have board type questions that you have to undergo. So there will be a video, after which there will be a check up, and then after all which there will be like a mock board question. So these things would be conducted through this course audit, 3 units, self-directed and online review to be offered by Panpacific University in partnership with the Dr. Carl Ibalita Review Center. All right. So if we are still making sense and if you're still okay, may I see a thumbs up from everyone? Kung okay pa po tayo. So apart from 18 units, as we mentioned, there will be additional 3, but this is your preference. It's up to you. Now, requirements for enrollment. So we have only few requirements, all right? The first one is transfer credentials, but this was specified by our registrar with notation specifically for Pan-Pacific University. Now, of course, it would be hard for you to request this at the moment because there's still ongoing pandemic. So you can already enroll even with your copy of transcript, all right? So for example, you have existing copies, then that would do. And apart from that, according to the admissions office, you have also to provide us with your PSA or the birth certificate. So if you have a question, so should we mail this? Should we somehow use courier? So at the moment, for us to facilitate the smooth and faster enrollment, you could just scan these copies and send later on to the email that we will be giving you. So at the moment, these are the only 2 requirements for enrollment. You may also take a screenshot. Otherwise, you may take note of them. Okay, next one. So the start of classes, as mentioned, would be October 4. That's a Monday. So 6 weeks for each wave. All right, for each subject, we have synchronous. So take note of this. So if you're going to ask 5 to 9 p.m. So does it mean we have to stay on cam or we have to stay for 4 hours learning online? No. So we have only 1 hour maximum for synchronous class. So it means to say it could be an internal arrangement. For example, your faculty could tell you, can we start at 6 o'clock so that we could finish at 7? Or can we start at 5 so that we could finish at 6? So it would be your internal arrangement as a class to facilitate, of course, the consensus about your availability. But at the end of the day, my point is you would not be finishing the 4 hours in a day. Instead, 1 hour would do for a quality lecture, for a quality engagement per week, per subject. So this also saves data, bandwidth, so you don't have to worry about your load just in case you're coming from like high areas where internet connection is not that good. So 1 hour per week per class is only allotted for your synchronous class. Now, if you're going to ask, how about the remaining days? Then that will be for your asynchronous classes. This would be focused on independent study with consultations. It means to say your faculty would be giving you work to do, or let's say modules to do through the Google Classroom, and you have to check them on the specific asynchronous class. Let's say, for example, Monday and Thursday, because this will be the days partnered for a subject. On a Monday, you could have your synchronous class. So on the Thursday, you would have your asynchronous class, or in vice versa, you could have your asynchronous class on a Monday and Thursday would be allotted for your synchronous classes. So in here, your faculty would be giving you the lines of communication, but at Pan-Pacific University, you cannot message our faculty via Messenger because, of course, for us to observe professionalism, you can only direct or communicate with them via your official. We will be giving you upon your enrollment, your official Pan-Pacific email, and of course, our Google chat. Now, you were going to ask, can we make our messenger group? Definitely not. We do not encourage that, but definitely you can come up with your Google chat group later on. It will be facilitated by your respective faculty. Now, apart from this, everything, our learning management system is Google Classroom. Okay, there will be also a walkthrough later on about navigating the Google Classroom. And finally, collaboration and coordination will be through the PU email and Google Chat, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, so let me proceed to the next. I think that would be all for now. We would be happy to entertain questions later on, but this time we would like to share with you. All right, we would like to bring in Mr. Ed Collado, the student who recently accomplished his CIT program with the university through online learning. So it would be best for you to listen to him. What would be the opportunities and how was the total experience from the CIT program? Good afternoon, Mr. Ed Collado.
Good afternoon, Dr. Virgo. Good afternoon to all. To our Dean of School and Academics and Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Engelbert Pasag, good afternoon. To the Dean of the School of Education, Dr. Virgo Lopez, good afternoon po. To all our Pan-Pacific instructors, nakita ko po kanina si Sir Rene, si Ma'am Ronnie Lynn, at si Sir Sip, good afternoon po sa inyo. Sa mga classmate ko po, nandyan po ba sila? Magandang hapon po sa inyo. At ganun din po sa mga bagong estudyante, new student, incoming student ng CIT. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Nais ko pong ipakilala ang aking sarili. Ako po si Ed Collado. Isa po akong religious minister. Graduate po ako ng 2 bachelor courses at 4 na vocational courses. At kakatake ko lang po ng certificate in teaching at natapos po nung last August. Third term of the year 2021, last August. The challenging and full of action, June, July, and extended to August. I still can remember the nights that I used to sleep late and woke up early to the next day to finish or complete the tasks that are set. The hours are beneficial to me because I've learned a lot. Natuto po ako ng marami. So sabi ko nga po kanina, I have been a religious minister, so I used to teach. Pero sa pamamagitan po ng certificate of teaching, mas natuto pa po ako kung ano yung mga dapat gawin at pamamaraan sa pagtuturo, lalong-lalo na po ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya. We all have a reasons. Marami po tayong rason kung bakit ginagawa natin ito. Sabi nga nila, bakit kailangan ko pang gawin ito? Actually, I am a businessman din po. I have been in the business industry for almost 15 years in electronics. I can say that my business can handle all my finances and financial problems. So sa madalit salita, sabi nga nila, hindi mo na yata kailangan yan. Pero sometimes I wonder, sinasabi ko sa aking sarili. Pero alam niyo po yung nag-e-echo sa aking isipan pag may mga bagay na ginagawa ko. Naalala ko po yung sinabi ni Dr. Virgo sa amin dun sa kanyang speech nung nakaraang nagkaroon po kami ng pag-aaral. Sabi po niya sa akin, don't complain, but complete your job. Maraming mga hirap na dinaras din namin, lalong-lalo na po sa internship. Na nakita ko po sa curriculum nyo, ay parang wala na po siya ngayon. So parang sinabi ko, parang mas madali yata ngayon. Pero nakita ko po challenging. We all have the reasons why we are doing this or studying this course or program. Sometimes it is hard to do the work that is set. But let us put in our hearts and our mind that we are doing this as part of our journey as an educator. So ang pangarap po natin maging educator, magturo. So take po natin yung journey na ito upang sa gayon ay maging better po tayo na educator. The Pan-Pacific students are very blessed Napaka-blessed po tayo. And I am part of the blessedness. Bakit? We have a great school that is internationally recognized. So kita po natin yung mga pinapakita pong video kanina, may mga student from all around the country. At may mga kaklase po ako na nasa Japan, nasa ibang bansa, pero patuloy po silang nag-aaral through this school. So yun po yung greatness ng ating paaralan. The school has a great program, just like the certificate in teaching. Sabi ko nga po, hindi po ako graduate. I am not an education graduate. But this program helps me a lot to pursue my dream to be an educator. They also have great highlights on course audit. So sabi po ni Sir kanina, pwede nating hindi kunin. Pero may advice personally is maganda po na kunin natin because it will prepare us and it will teach us the things that we have to prepare during our LPT. Kapag magte-take na po tayo ng LPT. Para na rin po tayong nagkaroon ng review na tinitake natin yung course. They also, most especially, we have a great and humble, hardworking teachers. Competent. Competent po silang lahat. Especially our Dean, Dr. Virgo Lopez. I actually met Dr. Virgo last week of July during our internship, but I consider him as a long friend and as a mentor. He is very hands-on on teaching and providing the needs for us to be a better educator. Actually, mga kaibigan, you can ask assistance from him anytime. I actually, na-experience ko po siya, 3 a.m. I-chat nyo po siya pag may problema po kayo. Magre-reply po agad dyan si Dr. Virgo. Ganun po siya kabait sa mga estudyante niya. Pwede nyo pong itry yan mamaya. Totoo po yun, hindi po ako nagsisinungaling. That's all at sana po magkita-kita po tayo at mag-enroll po tayong lahat sa Panpacific. Maraming salamat po.
There you have it, my student and would-be colleague in the education profession, Mr. Ed Collado. Maraming salamat po and we appreciate your appreciation. All right? Magkita-kita tayo soon for the preparation for your board exam. Okay? So this time we shall proceed with, most of you are asking questions like, ano ang magiging specialization ko? This would be the concern of our secondary education students later on, all right, to take the board exam. So I have allotted a presentation for that, though this came from the PRC, all right? This would be the designated specialization. So I'll just have a run through so that makita ninyo kung ano yung para po sa inyo in the board examination. So this is, the reference of this is the Professional Regulatory Board for Professional Teachers, Resolution number 51, series of 2016. So for our graduates of courses, definitely most of you would already be having secondary education as your level. So for biological sciences, all of these would be the courses that once you finish your 18 units, you would have biological sciences as your specialization. Because in secondary, you would have 3 parts of the exam: the Gen Ed, the Prof Ed, and your specialization or majorship. So lahat po na nakatapos, environmental hygiene, for example, botany, animal science, nutrition and dietetics, nursing, because I'm a nurse as well. So Dr. Pasag said a while ago, he was also a unit earner. Same thing with me. I finished my nursing in 2012. So my specialization is biological sciences. And the other courses here would fall under this specialization. Meanwhile, for physical sciences, all these courses would have to take physical sciences, all right? Chemistry, physics, all right? And also Doctor of Optometry. For mathematics, di ba? Miss Ronilyn Pasion, who's good at this. All of these courses, Bachelor of Arts in Statistics, Engineering, lahat ng engineering po, Applied Mathematics, yan. Lahat po yan ay ang inyong specialization would be mathematics. So don't you worry, the probable and the usual top-notchers of the board exam are actually mathematics major. So nyo pong patunayan, you check, for example, and make a survey. Karamihan po na nasa top 10 for the board exam are math majors. All right? Next one, for English, on the other hand, isa po sa mga mahirap po na course, no? Or specialization. If you're a graduate of BA Development Communication, Literature, Mass Comm, and Journalism, your specialization would be English. Okay, so wala pa po ba dyan ang inyong course? We have more to go. TLE, isa din pong siksik, liglig at iba-iba pong mga competency ang nandyan. Pahirapan din po lahat ng mga graduate ng industrial technology, audiovisual communication, entrepreneurship, computer technology, teacher technician, and a lot more. Agribusiness, fine arts, home economics, yan. So sa inyo po lahat yan. At meron din po agriculture and fishery and arts, agribusiness, agriculture and fishery, of course. Mga kaisdaan po ito. And of course, for MAPE, we have Bachelor of Music, BS in Physical Wellness, if I'm not mistaken, BPED, the Bachelor of Physical Education that we also offer at Panpacific University. Ayan, Mr. Ed Collado, I think dito ka ba papasok? BS in Theology, Behavioral Science, Christian Ministries, Humanities, Philosophy, Religious Studies, and Religious Education. Your specialization would be Values Education. Mga kagandahan sa pag-aasal, pagiging tao, mga ganyan po. And finally, for social studies, most of the courses would fall here. Criminology, for example, business administration, accountancy, law, mga ganyan, sociology, political science, economics, lahat po yan, your specialization would be social studies. So, kasaysayan, ganyan. So, pati po si Apolinario Mabini, mga ganyan, mga pangalan ng mga bayani, dapat niyo pong sa ulo. Okay. And finally, for elementary level, for example, kung meron man po nakatapos sa inyo ng child development or SPED, ayan, elementary level po. Or syempre yung mga education students would be having elementary level. And early childhood, of course, na talaga naman pong sikat din at in demand sa ibang bansa. Finally, kung wala po dyan ang inyong kurso, please refer, or if you are a Bachelor of Arts in general, refer to any major or minor subject to the approval or review of the Professional Regulation Commission or PRC. So I think we've covered much and we're now open for the forum. May we invite our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Engel, our faculty as well who are here, and of course, Mr. Collado, who could also answer concerns. You may type in the chat box or you may unmute and please identify yourself so that we could acknowledge you for your concerns or questions. May tanong po ba? Sige po. I think Mr. Lopez would like to ask question. Yes, sir. We cannot hear you, Mr. Lopez. Probably you can unplug and plug again. While waiting for Mr. Lopez, the rest can actually chat po yung inyong mga tanong. Okay. Terms of payment. Okay. All right. So for the terms of payment, usually for enrollment, there will be an initial down payment. And then for the succeeding po, like the major exams, you have to pay. So initial payment, we have for prelim, but we don't have prelim anyway, pero may schedule po doon, midterm and finals. So Dr. Engel, please confirm po. I might be wrong.
Ba't ako? Hindi, joke lang. Okay. Yeah, following our philosophy or following what we have extended to the graduate school, study now, pay later. You can enroll with a minimum fee, but can you pay? And I hope you can settle it within the term, okay? Alam natin na karamihan sa atin ay hirap sa gastusin. So therefore, if you have a minimum, I think the minimum fee is 1,500, right, Ronilyn? And then after which the succeeding should be paid within the term. Okay, you can send it through GCash, Palawan Express, or Security Bank, or BPI. So for those of you who only have Palawan Express, just pick the green form and then send it to our bank account. Or if you are using GCash, wag GCash to GCash na lang. You can send it to bank, send to bank, tama ba yung nakalagay, and then we can receive it. So we'll share to you our bank accounts, and then give us 24 hours for the confirmation. 24 hours because that's the policy of GCash. If you pay 5 p.m. today, it will be reflected 5 p.m. tomorrow. So we can only verify it. So here's how you can pay. So yeah, it's within the term. So at least siguro pag Christmas, aapaw na ang pera. So there will be lots of gifts, but and you know, our package is very affordable. So tinanggal namin lahat ng mga other barriers and other things that you need to settle, but it's only 9988. So please take the chance also. Here you go. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Pasek. So flash on the screen right now would be our mode of online payment. So we have banks and also mentioned by Dr. Engel Gcash. All right, so let's proceed. Right now on Spotlight are our faculty, and of course, Mr. Ed and Dr. Engel is around as well to answer questions. So let me read the other questions now via chat box. With regards po doon sa additional course, how much po additional fee if we enroll it? Okay. Let me answer first, then it will be validated by Dr. Engel. So since it's 3 units, it will be reflected in your transcript of records later on. So you still have to pay yung 3 units doon. Then an additional for the program. So I don't have the exact numbers or the payment, but that's how we would use that 3 units plus the payment for CBRC. Dr. Engel? Okay.
The since it's additional 3 units, it's, and in Panpacific, it's only since 2015. That's our rates per unit. So it's 3 with the CBRC and units with Panpacific University. For the kung mahihilot pa natin ng contest, more discounts so that we can have it at a lower or a very affordable. And we'll announce this one later on. So please, sabi nga ni Ed kanina, enroll it, take it. It's an additional thing, and you know what? They really have a lot of ways in which you can easily remember the concepts. And what we really wanted is that these concepts that you will soon meet during the board examinations are kind of easy. Yung parang madali mo na lang matatandaan, maalala, because our partner, the Carl Balita Group, they have really very beautiful way on how they can help you memorize and remember these concepts. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right. Yes po. For the question of Miss Maria Judith Borja, paano po yung mechanics ng OJT? Actually, as mentioned by Mr. Ed, their cluster or rather their cohort or their group is the last CIT group na makakaranas po ng OJT. However, I had a discussion with the university president, Dr. Ronda Padilla. It should be part as well of the optional course. So for example, we only offer the 18 units as the requirement, plus the course audit, which will prepare you for the board exam. Now, if you wish to be good at teaching, of course, you cannot teach well, not unless you practice it. So probably if you want the OJT, we could also offer that. But again, it's not part of the 18 units, which is a requirement. So to answer the question, there will be no OJT required for the 18 units. Instead, that will be outside the 18 units, like the course audit. And if you wish to take it as well, then well and good, because Mr. Ed Collado and his group had, in their words, right, worthy long month of online internship, right? Mr. Collado, probably you could share quickly.
Yes po, yes sir. Yung OJT po namin is online and challenging po kasi yung mga student po namin is Chinese. So we have to speak on English, pure English. So pero maganda po, na-train po talaga kami kahit papaano. Thank you.
Yeah, the management of virtual learning, and also in collaboration with our School of Basic Education teachers, kukutuhan po nila inyong mga paggawa ng pangalan nito, lesson plan, and of course, in preparation for your final teaching demo. But again, to answer that, your group or your cohort will not have the OJT as part of the 18 units. Instead, that will be part of the optional additional course if you want to take. Okay, may I see a thumbs up from everyone if that's clear? Let's have the other question. When is possible to enroll in the comprehensive review? Okay, as soon as you enroll this week, you could already add that. So as soon as possible po. If you wish to have it before October 4, then that would be better. Kasi po ang aming course audit din po would run for a month. All right? But we can somehow tailor that through your needs or through your specific time. For example, if you cannot enroll it for this month, it could be for next month or until siguro po November. Kasi po 1 month talaga magra-run yung ating course audit. Para may sama pa rin po namin yung 3 units na yon doon sa transcript of records eventually. So you wouldn't want to enroll the course audit sa December kasi hanggang December 7 na lang po tayo kung wala na pong adjustments. Right, Mr. Rene? Tama. So the second wave would be until December 7. So you can enroll it as early as now by October or November. It would run for a month kasi self-directed naman po siya. I hope I've answered that, Ms. Villar. Ms. Villar is already enrolled CIT student, right? Okay. And then Ms. Diana asked, what else do we need in order to apply for LET aside from finishing the 18 units? Then more likely, yung mga requirements din po nila na kailangan. Like yung certificate nyo rin po, ganyan. And of course, yung pangalan nito, yung the transcript of records coming from the university. That is why nire-reinforce ko na po, no? If you wish to take the exam on time, however, not just in this time of the pandemic, no? Kasi kung gusto nyo pong sabihin na kailangan matapos ko yung CIT until December, so by January, by March ng next year, makakapag-exam na ako. Ang priority po this time are the ones who filed from last time na naabutan po ng pandemya. So more likely, kung uubusin pa po yung nakapag-file ng for board exam by last quarter po ng 2022 pa po kayo or 2023, pwede po kayong ma-accommodate. But to answer the question, the transcript of records, the birth certificate, of course. So para mabilis po yung pag-issue po namin later on ng inyong transcript of records, kailangan pong trabahuin nyo rin po ang inyong transcript or transfer credential coming from your last school attended para po madali po yung pag-ayos ng inyong papers. Okay? Next one. I have teaching experience abroad as a lead teacher for 3 years and 6 years as an assistant teacher. Will it be considered if ever pumasok ako sa DepEd after passing LET? After the 18 units po, definitely po, it will be part of your, credential for the application as teacher 1. So lahat po ng inyong teaching experiences, kahit hindi pa po kayo LET passer that time, would be part of your experiences. All right? And then next, I'm a bit confused. Sorry, Miss Viva. With asynchronous class, I'm working full-time, but my company only allowed me to have 2 hours per day to leave from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, Miss Viva, may I hear from you po? So are you already enrolled, right? You're the student?
Yeah, I'm already enrolled.
Okay po. Okay, so this is not ideal though, but it's subject to, let me clarify first, no, and Dr. Engel is listening here. This is subject to the approval and agreement between you and your faculty because our faculty members here, except for assessment of learning handled by Ms. Pasion, and then the teaching profession handled by Mr. Sip Mendoza, the other 4 subjects have a counterpart in the undergraduate. So it means to say that though hindi rin po kayo available ng umaga po, no, Ms. Viva, right?
Oh, morning. I can
Okay, you
actually
can.
yeah.
So
Just afternoon and evening.
Okay, so afternoon and evening po kayo di pwede. So if that's the case po, available po yung 4 classes. Please confirm, Mr. Frederick, Mr. Toquero, and yeah, you're the 2 who are handling also undergraduate. Mr. Villanueva, what are your available schedule for the morning of child and adult?
For child and adult po na undergraduate, it's 12:30 to 5 in the afternoon.
However, your synchronous class starts at
1 p.m.
Okay, 1 to 2. Miss Viva, probably if you can attend the afternoon of Mr. Villanueva for child and adult instead of the evening on that day, that could also be done. Mr. Toquero, how about you po? for facilitating in the teacher.
Synchronous session is Friday 10 to 11.
Okay.
And for the
Okay. Mr. Rene, am I being heard? Sorry, my internet is not good.
yes.
Okay. May I please turn off my camera for me to have a better bandwidth? So there you go, Miss Viva. For the 4 subjects, please coordinate with Mr. Toquero and Mr. Villanueva, including Mr. Yes, Dr. Engel.
Okay. The principle of synchronicity is what we are advocating at Pan Pacific University. This means no one should be discredited because you did not attend the synchronous sessions. We leave the to your discretion if you can attend or not. But the, the the first thing that comes into my mind is kung college students ito, tapos paano sila mag-attend? They can attend, they cannot attend, or what? Okay. But then our mode of delivery is online, so we're using the platform Zoom and also Google Meet, and we are asking. It's a command to all the teachers to record their discussions because we do not give grades anymore to the attendance. Okay. That being said, you have the liberty to join the classes, the asynchronous or the recorded classes at your free time. So if you are free from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m.,
Yeah.
then you can listen to the lectures. And how about because this is the format in college. It's 8 to 12:30 and then 12:30 to 5. So that's 4.5 hours. Hindi po mag-discuss ang faculty na more than 1 hour. So those learning hours, we call them learning hours. It's 4.5 hours of 4.5 hour learning hours. This is where the students will be given synchronous tasks like you have to read this, you have to perform this, you have. So what if later on you don't really have time because you're working? And this is one thing that I always see on Facebook. Sasabihin nila may trabaho kami after 5 ba ito, gabi night classes ba to and all. So the answer is yes. It's a daytime class or some subjects are after office hours, but then everything is recorded. The lessons, the readings, the PowerPoint presentations, learning materials will be posted on the net. And so it's up to you as a learner to really, really look into those lessons, aralin yung mabuti, because it's the competency that you are acquiring. And so, what if nag-cheat ang estudyante? Ito naman, very, very crucial, no? What if there is a quiz, it's posted online, there is a homework that's posted online, and so, let's say, nag-cheat yung mga bata. And we always say, let God look at who you are when nobody is looking. And let it be that our values, PCST, the letter T, truthful, to become part of who you are as students of Pan Pacific. Remember, who will take the board examination? Remember, who will answer the questions during the board exam? Or later on, makalusot ka sa may board exam, who will face the demonstration, teaching, it's actually you. It's just the simple you who will present to the world, this is who I am. These are the things that I have acquired. So you be truthful to yourself, be truthful to your learning sessions, and then makakamit natin kung ano yung gusto natin. So I think I've said so much about synchronicity and asynchronicity. But lo and behold, I encourage you also to please carve out moments in which you can talk to the the lecturers. Remember, you're not just paying YouTube channels like to give you lectures. Otherwise, i-YouTube na lang natin to lahat. But you know, we kailangan nyo din makipag-usap sa mga teachers. The interaction is with your classmates. The interaction with your teachers would also be very, very nice. But it's up to you now to decide which one do you really want, and the mode of the extent of how you will learn things. Thank you, Virgo.
Okay, thank you, Doc. So again, you are in a special class, 5 o'clock to 9 p.m. But since you met already your faculty, everything could be settled or could be internally arranged through proper lines of communication. So please keep in touch with your faculty. Anyway, they would be considerate so long that your reasons are reasonable, and definitely we are responsible adults here. Hindi na po tayo undergraduate na kailangan, pumasok ka kasi that's why that's separate from us being already graduate of our respective baccalaureate degrees, no? So sana po, wag naman nating bigyan ng sakit ng ulo yung ating mga faculty na kala ko hindi na ako ganyan undergrad pero pati mas you know what I mean. So yeah. Next one po, are we also going to have a graduation ceremony? As much as we want, wala pong graduation ceremony kasi nga po special kwan lang po ito. Though probably we can organize. I would, later on, kung lahat po kayo mag-enroll, di ba, Dr. Engel, then I can organize with the CIT faculty a culminating activity. Right, Mr. Culiado, we had one for your internship.
Yes, Doctor. Opo, nagkaroon po.
Yes, ayan. So kung lahat po kayo mag-enroll, bakit hindi? Magko-culminating activity pa tayo for us to be able to share our learning insights and from the whole experience of the CIT po. Who knows, I could also invite Dr. Carl Balita to be with us or our partners as well, lecturers, our top-notchers somehow to inspire you to go on with the next step. Okay, so all of these would be tailored or would be prepared as part of your learning experiences with Panpacific University. Next one, I'm a bit confused po. That's already answered. Need po ba ng degree holder? Definitely po. So you need to finish your course before you could have the 18 units. That's a minimum requirement. And then I accidentally tapped the unenroll button. Okay, Miss Taliedo, please have an email. Send us an email and CC to. Yeah, I will forward your concern separately. Okay, Ms. Tanieda, if you're listening, thank you. Ms. Borja asks, how about the transcript of records? How do we request and process it after? O, di ba excited na si Ms. Borja? Hindi pa nakaka-enroll. Yung pag-request na ng requirements ang tinatanong. We are efficient and effective in facilitating your requests. Just comply po doon sa mga requirements na kailangan and of course doon sa time na ibibigay po namin. Kasi like sa registrar, may mga document po na 15 days, may mga document na more than that. So let's stick to that. We have the process at Panpacific University to cater to these specific needs. Don't you worry po, we'll attend to them accordingly. And then when is the last day of the term? We already answered po, Ms. Villar. December 7 though, but Dr. Engel, please confirm we might have a little adjustment because nga po umusog yung start ng classes. Dr. Engel?
From my calculations, it's December 22nd, but it's not official yet. So please wait for the official announcement. But within, of course, sana hindi natin abutin ng Christmas. But who knows? We can all be having a class or graduation during Christmas. Anyway, a double celebration, di ba? Okay. I was just imagining like during Christmas Day, you will have your own party plus your culminating activity. Why not, di ba? But unofficially, it's December 22nd. Thanks, Virgo.
Yes, po. So we will officially release information on this. And then do we have copies of modules via the Google Classroom? Modules available online, yes. Everything is placed in the Google Classroom for the next 6 weeks, including week 0. Right, Mr. Toquero? Could you please tell us more on what to expect po sa ating Google Classroom? Mr. Rene?
Okay, so yes, for the Google Classroom, actually, kumbaga is parang package deal na yung mangyayari dyan. All the, let's say, all the notes or all the recordings of the discussions will be placed, okay, on your Google Classroom so that if you have time, then you have to listen, okay? And also, let's say, the work text, or if not, the activity sheets will be posted in the Google Classroom. Everything will be given.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rene. So to our CIT students po, no, we are continuously, or sana po invited na kayo sa mga Google Classroom. Otherwise, for these concerns later on, just message the Education Dean. As mentioned by Mr. Collado, we would attend to your concerns efficiently and promptly. So next question po coming from Miss Grace. Will there also be a class participation sort of recitation? Yes po. Generally, our grading system, Mr. Rene, please correct me. Miss Ronilyn Pasion. Please tell us about the grading system quickly po, Miss Ronilyn. Since a student learning ka naman po, assessment. Miss Pasion, are you still there? Okay. So we have the class participation for, go ahead, Miss Ronilyn. Please.
Yes
Thank
po.
you. Sa grading system po, Miss Ronilyn.
Apo. Sir, same din po yung sa ginamit ko dati. Yung sa assessment of learning 2 po, which is midterm po is 60-40, and then for finals po that is 40-60 po.
The 60% for the midterms is the class participation, 40% for the examination. Tama po, Ms. Pasion?
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Yes po.
And then for the class participation po, it includes definitely your turn-in requirements. Or for example, if there is a live interaction, then your faculty would be able to require you for this. So kaya nga po, in case kung hindi naman po kayo makapag-participate, your faculty would be specifying on how you could measure up to this. For example, hindi ko po kayo naka-attend, your faculty could put po an instruction in the Google Classroom by those who were not able to make it. You could comment here, and then there will be discussion as well. So like correspondence learning at that. So this will be discussed thoroughly by your respective faculty. I hope I answered that. Let's proceed po to the next. Mr. Rene, narinig pa po ako.
Yes, Dr. V.
Thank you. Sir, kanino po, ano po yung next question? Kanino po pwede mag-send ng email? We will send you po the email for you to send your concern later. Pwede na po yung certified true copy ng grades or kailangan pa rin po ng transcript? Okay, as of now po, sabi ko po, to facilitate the enrollment, the certified true copy would do. But then to follow po kailangan yung transfer credentials with notation sa Panpacific for us to work on your updated updated credentials for board examination. So it can wait po, no? Again, pwede po yung scan ng certified copy of grades or copy of grades, then to follow po yung transfer credentials, sana po within the term. Okay? I think that's all for the question. Meron pa po ba tayong hindi nasagot? Kindly check po our chat box. Meron pa ako nabasa kanina sa Maritime. Nasaan na po yun for a while?
Yes, sir. She's an academic completer. It's only OJT is lacking.
Okay po. So ang sagot po dyan, ideally, you're not yet a graduate po. So there, you have to finish the course for you to be able to take the 18 units. Okay, anything else po?
We have last question here, sir. After the CIT program, can we take MAED?
Actually po, yeah. Dr. Engel. Gusto ko sumagot pero Dr. Engel is here, the Dean of the Graduate Studies.
Can you hear me?
Yes po.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Doc. Go
Okay.
ahead po.
All right. Definitely yes. You can enroll for the MAED or Masters in Education program. So we have a lot of majors, but we are concentrating on become leaders in respective fields. So
Okay, so the answer is yes. All right po. Thank you, Dr. Engel. If you have the one for the board exam purposes only, then because according to the registrar, yeah, that will do for the enrollment for now. But again, please settle within the term, as I said, your transfer credentials for PU. Okay? Para po walang problema later on. Yes po, Miss Kagiwa. So probably if you're from KSA, probably you can ask your significant others from the Philippines to work for your transfer credentials. All right. Anyway, we could wait for the entire term po until December po sana. Okay. So Mr. Rene, as Mr. Frederick, Miss Ronelyn, Dr. Engel, I think we don't have any more questions. Mr. Rene, meron pa po ba? Wala na po yata. So for any other question po, no, let me share the PowerPoint. Here we go. There you go. Coordinate, communicate, and collaborate with the respective offices for your enrollment. Kung sana po kayo po ay yes na mag-enroll for the coming week. You have the next week po, the last week for enrollment. Please message admissions@panpacificu.edu.ph or pwede po kayo sa post po ng Panpacific sa CIT. Meron na po doon link for enrollment, for your payment, finance, and then for yung transcript of records, ganyan, registrar, and for specific concerns for me to advocate for you, please email me at education.dean@panpacificu.edu.ph. And since you're not yet enrolled, you may use your respective emails. But as soon as you are enrolled, please use your Pan-Pacific email. All right? So kung wala na pong tanong, I think that's it po for today. Maraming salamat po. May we invite everyone to please turn on your cameras for our quick photo para po ma-document natin ito. At para pag sa culminating activity, ipapakita ko po ulit kung kayo po bang lahat ay nakapag-enroll at makakatapos. Ayan. Sige. Okay, first panel. Smile po muna tayo in my cue. 1, 2, 3, smile. Ayan po. Next panel po. Please unmute and say CIT. Sabay-sabay. Sige po, unmute po. Okay. So pag wala na pong tanong, thank you for taking some time in your Saturday busy schedule for us to present information about CIT, and we hope to see you virtually in your CIT classes with your CIT faculty at Pan-Pacific University. Maraming salamat po. Stay safe, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Engel. Thank you, Mr. Rene, Mr. Frederick.
Anytime, Virgo. Thank you so much. Welcome to everyone.
Salamat po.
We're waiting all of you.